It's powerful, insightful, educative, interesting, didactic.
Hi, my name is Victoria Odlo, and it is an interesting edition what we have it today indeed. We're gonna have Tolulope Shodunke share with us a little bit of a story and experience in running a non-profit organization for the past 15 years. And yes, I'm about to get really excited. Join me. Let's meet her. Oh my, really interesting, right? Welcome to today's edition, Shodunke. Good to
Thank-
have you.
Same here. Good to be here as well.
All right, so tell us a little bit about GPK Green Pasture Kiddies. What is it really about? You could tell us a little about yourself as well.
Okay. Actually, my name is Yewande Shodunke, like you rightly said, and I started Green Pasture Kiddies 15 years ago. It's a charity organization for underprivileged children, and well, I started when I was in my first year in university. And for me, it was just, okay, how did I start? I kept having dreams about children, and they were not just your regular type children that you would see in homes. They were either in cages or somewhere funny, and I had to rescue them from something. So the dreams just kept reoccurring. And I think for me, that was how Green Pasture started. I felt God wanted me to do more for children and reach out to children who were in need. And that was how I started, really.
Okay, great. Now take us through your 15 years journey of running GPK.
Okay, so
Let's
that's
take it.
actually that's a long journey. Like I said, it is a long journey, and I've had a lot of experiences. So I started in my first year in uni, and for me, I was very, very confident that God wanted me to just help children. And I thought it was going to be a smooth ride. You know how you're just on fire and everything. So for the first year, I set out and, drafted this very little proposal, and I would take it to companies and organizations for people to support. I wanted to go to an orphanage, to give the children stuff. And surprisingly, what I kept hearing from mostly the men, well, I went to mostly men, they either wanted to sleep with me or they wanted something in return that I couldn't give. And for me, it was quite disappointing, especially because I wanted to help children who were in need. And I thought that should actually be something that would be a drive for anyone who heard it. But it was the other way around. They either wanted to sleep with me, but I now thought of it that did it make sense for me to start something good on a bad note? So I had to then make a decision that I wasn't going to have this foundation on a bad note. So what I did, the only money I had with me then was my school fees. So I had to put my school fees into it, but I couldn't say it at home that I'd spent my school fees or I'd used my school fees to feed children in the orphanage. My mother would have said, okay, so what do you want us to do about it? So what I then did was I had to learn a trade. Well, I had to learn a craft. So I learned how to make beads just for me to be able to pay back my school fees. So after the whole project that I ran for the children in the orphanage, I started selling beads. So like something, I don't know if you can see what I'm wearing. Yeah, so I started making stuff like this to sell. Oh, you can see it. Yeah, so I started making beads to sell to people. And to be honest, I made a lot of money selling beads. And by the second year, again, I had to use my school fees. And by the third year, I've done two orphanages and everybody likes to identify with success. So by the third year, I found people coming to me to say to me that, oh, this thing that you do, how can I be a part of it? Can I buy 5 cartons of biscuits? Can I do this? Can I do that? And that was when people started coming on board to help. So today we are where we are from, I think, the first time I went to an orphanage, they had 30 children. And in the space of 15 years, I'm sure I've lost count of the thousands of children we've been able to impact. Because by the second year, there were 100 children. By the third year, we had 300 children. By the fourth year, we moved into the slum because we stopped going to the orphanage. Well, we didn't stop going to the orphanage. So I realized that children in the orphanage are actually kind of more privileged than children on the streets or in the slums. Because for every time we went into the orphanage, other people came to give them things as well. But nobody just walks into the slum to give anybody anything. So I discovered this slum where the children practically live on a dump site. And we started to go there. And the first outreach I had in that slum, we had about 2 to 3,000 children to deal with from 30. As in, it was a spike. And to the glory of God, we've not stopped since then. We've not looked back since then.
Oh, wow. I think I'd like to know a little more about the slum experience. Are you saying that we have 2,000 to 3,000 children in slum?
I'm sure there are more than that. So a slum, it's a community. So let's
Okay.
say, for instance, you live in Surulere, or maybe
Yeah.
you live on Bode Thomas or something. You have people, it's a community. So the slum where we work is actually a community. So you have
Okay.
families, you have people, and I always say to people when they say, "Oh, how come there are that many?" Like some families, you have up to 10 children from a father and a mother.
Mm.
So imagine 200 families with 10, 5, 4, 3, 8 children. You're almost getting, you're going beyond 2,000 already. And I say to people that it's very easy because for me, I see sex as the only form of leisure for these people.
Mm.
So a lot of times they don't have DSTV. They're either drinking ogogoro or doing something, and the next thing is to hit their wives, and then she's pregnant. So that's it's a community.
Oh, wow, quite I'm a little bit taken aback by this. I was not thinking there'll be that much. I mean, it's new for me having to, hear for the first time. Okay. I mean, the first time we had this conversation was when I felt I could literally experience that. Is the slum thing real? Children there? What's going on with them? What are they going through? And then you should share a little bit of the toilet experience. You should share a little bit of all that you shared with me. I mean, it's crazy. It's indifferent for me. So just tell us a little bit of it.
Okay, so when I first got into the slum, I'm sure I mentioned this to you when we spoke.
Yeah.
I went in with my brother and I said to him that I don't think God sent me to this place. Cannot, I cannot handle it. Like, I need to hear God call me, yeah, one day, go to this slum. Like, I needed to hear God because I was frightened. I was afraid. Like, I couldn't walk straight because I was scared. You have people smoking hemp whilst you're walking, they are cooking on gutter. And I remember I made a comment on that, and a small boy was passing beside me, and he said to me, "Auntie, now bacteria rise the sweet pass." I have a relationship with these children. We talk. They call me Auntie Swagger. We talk a lot. You hear children that are 10, 12, talking about hot drinks, baby or cool. They say all sorts, like, and they are real. They are real. They'll tell you, anti swagger. No, no. These some stone their mothers. The lifestyle there is. The
I can
first time I
imagine.
walked in there and I went to see the ballet of the place, some of the area boys gathered and they looked me in the eye and said to me that, see, I don't know if I'm allowed to speak Yoruba here. They said to me, I'm a paemi.
Will kill
That
you.
yes, they will kill you. You think Fashola can send you here to come and spy and then he will demolish this place? How can you, fine girl, rich girl, because I'm wearing top and jeans, I'm a rich girl, that you would wake up from your house and say you want to come and help poor people? So they've been swindled a lot of times. They don't trust. It takes a lot to earn their trust. So I saw that it was coming from a place of pain. Everybody wants to be territorial. So that's their territory. You can't just come into the territory and feel, oh, I'm Obasanjo's daughter, I'm Otedola. They will beat you out of the place. So you have to apply a lot of wisdom, as in the wisdom God taught me. I didn't have it. I don't
Wow.
have it. I used to walk there scared, scared. Some of the children would tattoo 666 on their hands.
Wow.
There was a boy I was trying to like talk out of. He used to be a good boy, but all of a sudden, of course, if you live there, you have influence and all of that. And he started smoking. He wasn't just smoking cigarettes. And the last time I was in Nigeria, I told him, I said to him, you need to stop doing this thing. If you don't stop it, I am not going to have anything to do with you again. And he said, nah, Auntie Swagger, they not bomb me with them. I go still stop. They kill person. I go stop. But the thing is, they are very bold. It just weakens my heart. It's sad when you see bright children, children that have prospects, just waste away, because of where they found themselves. So there was a day I was praying with them, and I just said, oh, that if you just feel that no matter how hard you try, you make it in life, you know, just raise your hands. I didn't expect anybody to raise their hands, but one guy raised his hands, and I spoke with him after the prayers, and he said to me that he was in secondary school then, that all his brothers are area boys. I feels that no matter how much he tries, that he wants to be an architect. No matter how much he tries, he still feels he's going to end up like his brothers. So those are the sort of experiences that you see there, that you find there. You know, some of them are, okay, and I'm going to give this example as well. Pato Rankin, Pato Rankin, the musician, he grew up in that slum. Yeah, he grew up in
Wow.
that slum. So some of them get out of there, better people.
Wow.
So it just takes God. It takes God. It takes a lot of encouragement. It takes a lot of hard work before
Wow.
it's a tough one, to be fair.
Yeah,
It's
looking at what you said thus far, I'm thinking about, apart from the fact that you said they need to earn your trust. I mean, they're not people that can, easily trust people. I'm thinking about the state of their mind, the state of their minds, actually. Yeah, as individuals growing up in an environment like that with little or no opportunities at all. Yeah, so what kind of programs have you initiated? Have you initiated programs that would help them, help their minds, help them become, develop a better mind and begin to see a future beyond where they are?
oh yeah, yeah. So like I said to you, I have a relationship with a lot of them. They are my friends. I eat with them. I just, because you don't want them feeling there's something wrong with them. So you have to always try to blend in with them. And there's this project that we do in GPK called Foster One.
Say
So
that again.
Foster One.
Okay. What's that about?
So the main idea is this: a lot of people feel they have to be rich or they need to have a lot of money before they impact lives. Oh, I hear people say to me, oh, when I have money, I really want to sponsor children. You don't really need to have a lot of money. So Foster One encourages people to foster at least one child.
Hmm.
So you're not just paying the child's school fees, you're mentoring the child as well. So it's like a virtual fostering project. So the child doesn't come and live in your house. I have children that I foster. So at every point in time, I'm calling the mother, how are you? Can I talk to her? How are you? What's happening? Yeah, I ask them very tough questions. Come, have you had sex? Auntie, no, I haven't. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask you again, but this time I want you to tell me the truth. Have you had sex? It's only once. So that way we have that relationship. So I have friends that are on the project as well as like foster parents. I have a lot of people on the scheme as well as foster parents. So they pick a child in a family and cater for the child's education, and not just education, they check up on the child. I have people that live abroad as well that have children that they foster. So when they're going to Nigeria, they shop for this child, go to Nigeria, meet up the child. So this child there's this mentality shift. Oh, I live in the slum. I have an auntie abroad. You know what that does to you? I have an auntie abroad that, pays my fees. So I have hope. So this child looks beyond the slum, looks beyond the present, and looks to a better future based on that scheme that we've put in place. And to be fair, it's worked, or it's working. They have this, the way they carry their shoulders. Oh, I have an auntie abroad. I'm going to go soon and all, and it just helps them, because I realized that beyond giving them biscuits, sweets, Capri Sun, you need something sustainable. You need to I tell people that I'm an opportunity to talk to. We feel we are in our safe places. I live in Ikoyi, I live in Lekki, I live in Surulere, I have gate men, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget that we all go through third mainland together. Don't forget that on Akongbon Bridge, we are there together. These guys are the ones that sell in traffic. They're the ones that attack you. So do the little you can. If your child goes to a 300,000 naira per term, a school that pays 300,000 naira per term, and you have a child you are fostering for 15,000 naira per term, auntie, I don't think that's too much. Do you get? If you can buy your child, I don't know the best eatery in Lagos as we speak, but I've always liked TFC meat pie. So let's say TFC. If I can buy my child TFC meat pie, which is maybe 300 naira, why can't I buy 50 naira gala for that child that doesn't have food to eat? I'm not giving him the same quality I'm giving my child, but I'm giving him something he's going to be grateful for. And these children, they may never remember what you say to them, but they never forget how you made them feel. So it stays with them forever. So for me, I just think you don't need to have lots of money. You don't need to be a millionaire. You don't need to be an Adenuga to be supporting children, to be helping people. Like I said, I started with my school fees. My school fees wasn't up to 100,000 naira now, and it fed 30 children.
Wow. Wow. I'm moved because I think, especially the way things have been going on in this time, I have been, as a person, I'm gonna have to talk about my own experience. As a person, I find it very difficult to relate with children that beg on the street. I see it as, oh, your parents should do better, because of course I've seen parents who have encouraged their children to go into things like this. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's really bad. I feel parents should do better than this. I feel they should not even encourage, even if they do not have, they should not encourage their children to beg on the streets. And so because of that mindset, and being that I also got an information from someone in the north that many of these parents just send their children out to beg on the streets so that they can eventually use it for their own. I don't want to state anything
The
political.
game.
But yeah, exactly, but their games and all that. So I'd rather use that word. Thank you. Now, the being that I've gotten that information, whenever I see children walk up to me on the streets beg, I feel very take. I feel very should the word be, I don't want to say irritation, but I feel no way. I'm not going to give you anything. You should do better than this. Something like this. So I want to hear from you. What do you think about this? Because I can imagine there are other people too who think like I have been thinking. I think I'll repent today. One thing like
Yeah,
I've been thinking
see,
support. Okay, go ahead.
you know what I've realized? There are bad people. There are people
Yeah.
who do their selfish gains,
Mhm.
and there are sincere people as well. In this my short life, I have met people. I have met people. I have cried. I've met people that had, well, maybe their child. Okay, another experience that I did mention, I don't just work in slums. So I work in public primary schools, slums, and then hospitals. So there was a time we were going to lose because some parents couldn't just afford to pay their children's bills and they were left in the hospital for months. People that had everything all of a sudden did not have anything because they had a sick child. So the other children had to stop going to school. So people have, and don't mishear me. I have toughened since I started. Before I used to be anybody, hey, oh, let's go, oh, let's go. They take advantage of it as well.
I think that's the point I'm trying to make
They
exactly.
take advantage of it. So for foster one, for example, I will not, if you have two children, God bless you. If you have 10 children, God bless you. I will not put two children on the same because one of the things that we teach is responsibility.
Yeah.
If your child's school fees is 40,000 naira, I would tell you that I will pay 30. Go and look for the 10,000.
Mm.
Because if you don't do that, you're encouraging irresponsibility. The
Exactly.
mother keeps
Yeah.
drinking paraga. The mother would go and buy a shrebi. They are doing something in our yard. No, I don't encourage stuff like that. So for me, and if my spirit doesn't give you, I don't give you. If you like, be licking the ground on the express. If my spirit says no, I don't give you. But some people have abused these things and they deprive other people from getting the help that they need.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
So me, I would call you, I would hear your story. They would lie to you the first time. There was a day I saw a girl, she was going to sleep, and I was with my brother. We do a lot together. She was going to sleep on the street, somebody Thomas. It was late. And I said to him, ah, look at that girl. She's lying down on the floor. Ah, and she has a baby. My brother was like, you've come again. Leave the girl alone and let's go home. I was like, wait, let's go and meet this girl. And we went to meet, we walked up to her. The baby was a baby, maybe like 6 months. I
Wow.
said, why are you lying down on the floor? Yeah, you be like Masu. As in, this is where we'll sleep. Why? Her father is a policeman. She got pregnant and her father chased her out of the house. This. I was like, you can't sleep here tonight. I won't house you. I live with my mother. My mom won't take in a stranger. So we had to go look for a hotel for her that night, for her to spend the night. The baby was smelling. Didn't really
Wow.
have diapers or nothing. So we had to go buy diapers. We had to, give them food that night. Just sleep here. And by tomorrow, we'll know what to do. And by the next day, I thought of it. I don't have a home to put you in. Yeah. So Pastor Nikki Adeyemi, she has I don't know if she still runs it, but she has a home for women and for children. And the next day we took her there. She said the same story. Her father was a policeman, da 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 da. And these people now said she's lying, that she'll still tell the truth. They now went to make a bar for this auntie. Auntie now ate a bar. Of course, she was calm. And she was like, actually, she was scared because people always, and trust is key in doing this work. A lot of people, they come, they hear her story and they leave her, so she doesn't tell the truth the first time. That actually she said another story. They now said to her that, okay, we'll go and meet your mom, because she said her mom was living in Lagos Island. She just said another story. And the whole plan was for the Pastor Dike's home to go get consent from her mom for her to stay with them, because you can't just pick a child off the street and house the child if you
Yeah.
don't want them to come and tell you that, oh, you kidnapped our child. So she said, okay, she was going to take them to her mom the next day. By the next morning, they called me, where are you? We need you to come, blah, blah, blah. She ran away.
Really? Oh
She ran
wow.
away. Before I could dress up to go to the place, she was in front of my door.
Wow.
I said, Auntie, I don't want to stay in that place. What help can you give me? Do you get? Long story short, this girl was, I think she was 19 then or 18. I was her third child. That
Wow.
was
This
her third child.
Wow. This is quite a story for me. I feel like so many people really need to be helped. Yeah. Well, we also need to know who we can help so that we are not also, you can help people to their own detriment as well.
Yeah.
It's always just like we said, we teach people responsibility. It's always necessary. You can imagine someone with two hands begging on the street and you're wondering what's going on. Can't you do something? Yeah, so it's necessary we just know how to differentiate it, know how to help people to an extent that they feel like, yes, you've also made me responsible and not just help me out of responsibility necessary.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for sharing this story. We really appreciate you. In one of our conversations, you mentioned Operation Clean Up the Environment in partnership with Loma. Just give us a quick breakdown, which of course relates to children in a slum as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quick, just give us a brief because we've run out of time already. Just a
Oh,
quick
okay.
on that.
Okay,
Please.
for that one, the first time I went to the slum where I work, I realized that it was just dirty. There was no way I could eat anything in that slum. So the first thing we had to do was come up with an environmental care project. So they needed to be responsible for their environment and the cleanliness of their environment. So that was why we partnered with Loma, and everybody came out, swept, cleaned their environment, and then Loma took out the dirt. So we did it a couple of times, and so far it's the place is not clean, clean. It's not your definition of clean, but it's not in the state it was when I first went in there.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that as well. I know you've said a lot already, but I would like you to say one thing your experience in the past 15 years has taught you based on running GPK. And then I also like you to advise someone out there who is probably running an NGO, a business, or even a project and made disappointment, oppression, or pressure. How would you encourage such people?
Oh, okay, so for me, it's taught me selflessness.
Mm.
It's not just about you all the time. Think about the next person and help however you can help. And for anyone, facing stumbling blocks or pressure, whatever pressure, if you're trying to start up something like this or maybe a business, don't. Was I discouraged? Yes. Did I stop? Yes. If God has called you to it, if it's purpose for you, you need to walk in it, and God will always make a way.
Mm. Thank you so much. Don't stop. Don't give up. Never, ever relent. Just keep doing what you know how to do best. And of course, God will make a way. Thank you so much for your time to look by you one day,
Thank you,
Shodunke.
Victoria.
Yes, I said you one day earlier. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate your time. If you're just joining us for the first time, thank you for joining us. This is Insight with Victoria Odo, where we get to hear the transformational experiences and stories of individuals, executives, entrepreneurs. Thank you for joining us. If you're yet to subscribe, please click on the button, subscribe right now, like, comment, and share. So we'll come your way again next time. Bye. Bye. Have a blessed day.
Bye. Thank you.